Welcome, welcome, one and all, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, shredders and non-shredders alike, to today's lesson on sweep arpeggios. I don't know of anybody else who's really teaching sweep arpeggios for bass, and I think it's high time we got started because guitar players are hogging all the glory, man. We gotta get in on that. So, if you're not familiar with the term sweep arpeggio, it basically just means playing a big arpeggio, whether, however big the range is, fastly. If you do it slow, it doesn't really sweep so much. It's like you're sweeping. Not that any of you have ever cleaned anything with a broom, because you have an iPhone app for that now, newfangled kids. So today we're just going to be doing little sweeps from a note up to a tenth above it. But in later lessons we'll start doing whole 2-octave sweeps, which is about as much as you can do comfortably on bass on a 4-string without adding in big tappy things. So anyway, today we're just doing a polite little ranged sweep arpeggio to get you started, and I'm just going to play the exercise for you and then we'll dig into it. To follow along with me this week, as usual, click the link in the video description. It'll take you to my website. You can download a PDF which has the sheet music and tablature, totally free as always, and you can follow along. So, this week, unlike other exercises I've composed for us to mess around with, the left-hand fingering is actually extremely important. Because you're going to be able to use this basic fretting and fingering pattern for other exercises we do with these octave plus a third sweep arpeggios. So what you should notice reading along with the exercise is that all of these arpeggios, of all the 4 chords we're playing in this exercise, you have 2 notes on the A string, 1 note on the D string, and 2 notes on the G string. Whether it's the A chord, the F over A, the D minor, or the B flat. So the reason they have it fingered so formulaically that way is that when you want to get these sweep arpeggios really fast, I think the key is building muscle memory. So to be able to play through a pretty wide variety of chord progressions and keep that same shape, 2 notes on the A string, 1 note on the D, 2 notes on the G, or in another case you could shift it all over a string, so it's 2 notes on the E, 1 note on the A, and 2 notes on the D. But whichever string you started on, the more you build a habit of fingering it that way, the easier it'll be to shred it. Let's look at this left-hand fingering together in slow motion before we actually play along with the drums. So, starting on our first finger, then we're doing a little shift here to the second finger, and then we're doing a partial bar across from the E to the A. So I've got the tip of my first finger on the D string and the first joint of my first finger on the G string ready to go with that A. And then just a pinky on the C. So get comfortable with that. And then for the F over A chord, we're going to do the same first finger start, second finger, and then we're going to bar with the second finger over to that F on the D string, and then first finger, fourth finger on the A and the C. And I will say that's the trickiest part of this fingering when you're playing it fast, is doing that second finger bar and not getting a sloppy sound or accidentally barring over to the G string. And then the D chord, we're going to do first finger, third finger, it's a little shift there, and then 2, 1, 4. So nothing really tricky there. You'll notice that when I play that A on the G string with my first finger, I'm using sort of the middle of my finger rather than bringing the fingertip over there. And that's because I'm trying to minimize the amount of motion I use, because I want to be able to shred this really fast. So the key to playing anything fast is economy of motion. So I'm keeping my first finger in the same basic position it was in to play this low A. I'm just sliding it up. So as you're looking at your own hands and doing this, you want to make sure that you're moving your fingers as little as possible, because we're going to crank this all the way up to the speed I just played it at 160 BPM. And in order to do that, you need to have your left hand efficiency happening pretty good. So the last chord is the B flat major, and that's just first finger on the B flat, third finger on the D rather than the second finger we were using earlier on the A minor chord, because now it's a major third away instead of a minor third. So first, third, partial bar with the first finger, F, B flat, and then fourth finger on the D. Nothing really tricky there. And if you're not used to barring with your left hand fingers on bass, it's really useful. You know, whether you're playing sweep arpeggios or just playing, you know, a simple funky bass line, barring can make stuff a lot smoother and less, you know, moving your finger from string to string with only the point. You do sacrifice a tiny, tiny bit of tonal clarity, but it's all right for most circumstances. So that's the left hand. The right hand is a lot easier in my opinion, because we're using some hammer-ons and pull-offs to minimize how much right hand plucking we have to do. So you pluck the first note, and this is all in the notation too, I just want to say it so that it's clear. You'll pluck the first note, slide to the second note doing a hammer-on effectively, pluck the E, pluck the A, then hammer the C, and then pull off back to the A, then pluck, pluck. So pluck, hammer, pluck, pluck, hammer, pull off, pluck, 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 hammer, pluck, pluck, hammer, pull off, pluck, pluck. And that's the same right hand pattern for all four of these chords in this exercise. So again, part of the way that I get sweep arpeggios fast on bass is I try to use the same left hand skeletal structure for all the different chords, and I try to use the same right hand pattern. So I'm just changing a note or two each time, especially in this progression since the chords fit so smoothly together. You're only changing one note of the triad at a time. Let's play this together very slowly at 60 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. So if you're not used to doing hammer-ons and pull-offs, especially with your pinky, this might be a little tricky to get very much volume out of that. So you can just isolate that part of the exercise. Just go to that hammer-on pull-off and just do it. And just the trick to getting a good hammer-on is just smack it. Just hit the fingerboard as hard as you can with your pinky, because you only have, you know, a couple inches to create the momentum to hit it hard enough. So you really have to muscle it. And same with the other three chords. You really emphasize that pinky at first, and if it's hard to hit the right fret or do it hard enough at first, just work it a while and it will come to you. Let's try that again faster at 90 BPM. 2, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Very good, and now we'll try at 120 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Great, so you're probably starting to feel the ache of shredding happening in your left hand. That's very good. So if that's fast enough for you today, that's fine, but we're going to go ahead and bump it up here for those who want to rock a little bit harder. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, one more at the so-called performance tempo of 160 beats per minute. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the exercise for this week. If you're still having trouble with it, here's some more tips for how to practice these, if you're not even ready for those play-alongs yet. Start by getting comfortable with just the A minor chord. Just check out those fingerings, take it as slow as you need to. And do that with each of the 4 chords here, the A, the F over A, the D minor over A, and the B flat major. Then try doing 2 chords in a row. So try doing the A minor to the F over A. And then you can just go back and forth between those 2. And then scoot over one, so now do the F to the D minor chord. Back and forth. And then scoot over one more, do the D minor to the B flat major, back and forth, and then you can do the B flat to the A minor. So if you're pumped about sweep arpeggios and you want more, I've actually written a short little ebook about sweep arpeggios, which there will be a link in the description, and that's totally free too. You can donate something if you want to, but I don't care. And actually it was featured in Bass Player magazine in the August issue, which I still need to get a copy, physical copy. But I was literally in Bass Player magazine talking about sweep arpeggios, just as a little side note in a John Goldsby column. But I was pretty proud of myself for being selected. It was exciting. If you want to see more on sweep arpeggios, please tell me in the comments so I know that you're digging it. There's a lot more territory we can cover. We can do different types of chord progressions, different root movement. We can move around the neck more. We can start doing whole 2 octave. We can start adding more ornamentation in. We can do different time signatures. There's a lot of territory we can cover. So let me know if you're interested in that. And if you like these lessons, you can show your support on Patreon. For as little as $1 per lesson, you can become a patron, get access to my patron feed, monthly hangouts, discounts on bass lessons, cool stuff like that. I also have slots open for one-on-one students on Skype, so if you're interested in getting some one-on-one support over webcam, you can shoot me an email or message on YouTube and we'll talk. And last thing is a message to Yngwie Malmsteen and all the other guitar players. Us bass players are learning the sweeps now, man. We're learning them and we're coming for ya. We're coming for ya. Thank you for watching. Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes!